Hey, so where to go from here? There's a silly little detail I wanted to mention, which is I find it funny how the observatory where Rosalina lives is called the Comet Observatory. I find that funny because I suppose it's meant to be a joke of a certain kind, which I find funny. I mean, which is it's a comet, so it's a shooting star of some kind. It's a star. It's an astral body, but it's an observatory. In a sense, this really reminds me of the stained glass window in Mario 64. I don't know why, but I want to explain why, maybe. I think it's because the stained glass window in Mario 64 has got Peach praying up into the sky. And you look at that painting. There is a way in which you, Mario, need to look up to the skies to look at that stained glass, and then Peach herself is looking up at the skies as well. This is tricky without body language, so I'll try and explain what I mean. You're looking up at this painting. Well, it's a stained glass. I think... Okay, let's go back to... I hesitate to do it with body language because there's something just slightly more conceptual about this that I want to get at. You're looking at something that in itself is a depiction of someone looking at something. That's the sort of tunnel of recurrence, the recurring kind of images that I'm trying to get at. Okay, back to body language. Let's see how long we can speak about this now. I imagine 5 minutes is a good amount, with an extension later. So, the thing is that to look at something that in itself is the act of looking. That's what I find interesting. I kind of imagine that a comet observatory implies that sort of a joke within itself, and a joke usually has some hidden meaning to it. By hidden meaning, I mean that often when a joke is funny, speaking in general sort of terms, it hides within itself some little unexpected little nugget kind of thing, a traditional sort of joke, let's say, that points to something. I think that's what happens in this case. An observatory that is in itself one of the objects that would usually be the object of observation of the observatory. The observatory is observing stars, but the observatory itself is a comet. It is the kind of object that it would observe. Sorry to sort of drive that into the ground, but I wanted to try and get at something that I'm trying to think about or discover about all this. There is, therefore, okay, where could we go with this then? Peach. Peach in that stained glass is surrounded by flowers. In Mario 64, it's unclear what type of flower it is. It's just flowers, but they are 5-petaled flowers. So they're flowers that have a similar sort of shape to a 5-pointed star, the kind of stars that you obtain in this game, the power stars. So Peach is surrounded by these sorts of flowers. I think even that the entrance to the castle in the cover art is covered in flowers. I'll check that actually. Yes, they are 4-petaled flowers, so it doesn't really fit my theory that way, but it doesn't matter. We got these 4-petaled flowers in the box art. What appeared to be marigolds, daisies. It's interesting to note that Daisy's alter ego in Super Mario Land is Daisy. Sorry, Princess Peach's alter ego. So this is not the first time Princess Peach has an alter ego. Rosalina is not the first time. Okay. Princess Peach has had... so you could say that she has become different people throughout the saga. Mario Land transforms her into this other character. She had previously been Pauline, I guess, in Donkey Kong. Now we get Rosalina. These flowers that surround her, then, are just flowers. They happen to have the same sort of general five-pointed shape as a star, and I think she's surrounded by 5 of them. So I think that gives more credence to the fact that the five-pointedness of them is relevant as a number. The number 5 surrounds her in some way. It also surrounds her in another kind of slight recurring way, where it's 5 things, each one of which has got 5 sides. In Mario Odyssey, that stained glass window is shown again, but it is explicitly depicted as being roses. She's surrounded by red roses. So the name Rosalina, as having some etymological connection to rose, seems interesting here. If she were to be seen as some sort of an alter ego to Princess Peach. So there's a sort of variety of topics that I kind of want to talk about around here, and I'm not sure even where to go with this. The observatory projects images onto the sky of nearby or distant places, worlds, galaxies that you can go to, and then through that projected image, it seems to me, I don't know how this works canonically speaking, but through that projected image, Luma, which stands for luminosity, I suppose. It must etymologically come from the same place. I'm just jumping to that conclusion. But a luminosity, so the visual field, luminosity, what allows you to see light, has something to do with why you travel to these worlds. Of course, I think maybe that canonically what's happening is that this projected image of the galaxy serves simply as a way to then travel to the actual galaxy. So it's not as if you're entering into the image, but that you then go to the galaxy itself, so to speak.